I have got these 123 questions that I was trying to figure out how to articulate or learn or break it down with all of them by all means. And at some point, I was realizing that maybe the only way that I can sort all this out is just to try to answer each of them. Let it sit and just feel the resistance between those words, thoughts, facts, and imagination and opinions towards the question itself, day by day. So this is probably, well, you named it, but I named it, but I would name it 123 questions. Maybe it's a series if I could call it. I don't know. But this is probably the first episode, as it is the first question among all of them, 123. Hopefully, if I can make it until the very end. So the first question, the very first one is, how do you feel about the sun? How do I feel about the sun? I actually have spent some time trying to find the best answer to my very first question, but I think I sort of failed it. I gave up midway, but I put myself right back at it again and just think of this question rather than how do I or what do I know about it, and really think of the way that the question itself was, which is, how do I feel about the sun? Then I think my answer would be a little strange. I think the sun is one of those things we understand so well that we have stopped being impressed by it. We wake up and see it, complain it when it's too hot, complain when it's raining, use it to tell time, months and years. Maybe the moon helps also, but maybe even turn its light into electricity or a source of energy in some ways. It's so ordinary that we barely notice it anymore. But think about it for a second, that the sun has been there longer than any of us can imagine. Before our names exist, before our countries, before our languages, before all our little arguments, ambitions, our plans for tomorrow. And every morning it appears again, not because we asked the sun to, not because it knows we are here. It just does. And somehow we have become so familiar with this enormous thing in the sky that we forget how strange it actually is. The sun doesn't rise because we need it. It doesn't set because we are tired. It isn't giving us warmth because it wants to help us or we are begging for it. We are simply here on this little piece of rock, positioned close enough to receive it. And I think there's something strangely uncomfortable about that. We often imagine nature as something that exists for us. The sun gives us light, the rain gives us water, the forests give us oxygen. But the sun isn't really giving us anything. It's just burning. We are ones who decided to call what reaches us as a gift. And maybe that's what I find interesting about it. Something can sustain your entire existence without loving you. Something can be essential to you without knowing you exist. The sun doesn't love humanity. It doesn't hate humanity either. It just simply exists. And somehow that is enough for us to exist too. Maybe that's one of the strange things about being alive. We spend so much of our time wondering whether the world cares about us. Maybe the world doesn't. Maybe it doesn't have to. The sun will still rise tomorrow, and we'll still be here, standing underneath it, trying to make sense of why, eventually.